Hello, hello, one and all, and welcome to our house tour. Let me preface this house tour by this is a house this account for Webkinz I've had since 2007. So, a lot of stuff has happened in this house, and this house has gone through a lot of changes, and I'm fixing to do a really big change. So, I want to kind of document what the house looks like right now before I start doing those major renovations. So that way I can kind of look back on it. Cause I may post it on my YouTube channel a little bit later, but I do have like a walkthrough of my Webkinz house from like 2019 or 2020. Um, that obviously I'm not talking in it. I just kind of like filmed myself or like screen recorded going through all the different rooms before I changed some things and did some renovations. Which so I may show that one, but I don't know. But I like having documentation of what my house looks like in different moments in time. I wish I had documentation of what my house looked like in like 2010 during like the heyday of Webkinz, but I don't. Some of these rooms are renovated from when I'm an adult, and some of these rooms are still renovated from when I was younger, but not all of them. So yeah, it'll be fun to just look through all these rooms and see how everything's going. Like, obviously, this room right here was not from when back in like 2008 because it's the 20 years, which was this year. So this is a newer renovation. But we'll actually start off up at the top. So I guess before we officially start the tour, this is what my house looks like. We have kind of a square with a little bit of stuff coming off of it. We have this little square down here. We have the outdoor area, and then connected to the outdoors is my holiday rooms. I have two Halloween rooms, an Easter room, and a Christmas room. And then we have a bunch of tiny hallways that kind of are the road, connected to the garage that connects to a school, and then a dance studio and an art gallery, a movie theater, a camp, which is like these four right here. And then here's like a shop, because I was thinking of doing like a shopping mall. And then just a care room that has just like all the stuff you would need to take care of a pet, all in one room. So we'll go ahead and start up here at Moonlight and Sunshine's room and just kind of work our way down. Kind of go through it that way. I think that's going to be the best way to see everything. But this is Moonlight and Sunshine's room. They are right there. And I did this room in a video that's on my YouTube. It's one of the first videos on the Webkinz exclusive YouTube channel that I have. And I did it like it was Extreme Home Makeovers. I pretended to be like Ty Pennington to make this room, and I thought that was fun. I may do that again for some others, but I really like this room. Yeah, don't really know what to say else about it, but I enjoyed creating this room a lot. And then if we go down, we see Delilah and Angeline's room. Moonlight and Sunshine used to be in this room as well. That's why there's four beds, but I felt like it was a little too cramped in here. So it's just their room now, and I just haven't moved their stuff yet, to where it's just two beds. And this is one thing I wanted to document before I started redecorating, is because a lot of the rooms I was trying to fit four pets in them, four pets in a medium-sized room, and it just wasn't working like this. So you'll see probably a lot along this first wall, for this first row, a lot of 4 beds. And I just don't like how it looks. So that's one thing that we're really changing. But this one gives me major hotel vibes. The next room, there is no one in this room. This is Cotton Candy, Pastels, Francis, and Blue Myrtle's room. So they're all dogs, but they're all like my super colorful dogs. Like Blue Myrtle is a blueberry cheeky dog. Pastel is a jelly bean puppy. Cotton Candy is the pink ribbon Pomeranian. Not Pomeranian. Yes, Pomeranian. And then in this room, we have this Kinz Tune jukebox. Yes, I think it's gonna work. So you can like play any of the songs, like from the Pet of the Month songs. Okay. I'll stop that. But you can play that in here and listen to those, and little music things come out of it. Music notes come out of it. I like this room. I think I may keep this actually as a 4 bedroom. I just like how this looks. And then here is Shiloh's room. So Shiloh is my very first Webkinz. And so he's kind of like the mayor in my mind. This is him right here. And he's all decked out in a mayor outfit. He has the key to Kinsville. He has this Dr. Quack statue. He has the map. He's the mayor. So his room, this is what he has. But this was his original bed that I had for him. So I wanted to keep that. He needed to keep his original bed. And then in here, this is TH, Boo Buddy, and Buddy's room. This is another room that I kind of like, that it has the 3 of them in it. I kind of like how it looks, but it's giving, obviously it's condo themed, and it does give off the condo vibes, but I like the little touches, like the phone, the pumpkins, like the things that don't necessarily match the theme, but they kind of fit, kind of makes it feel like they're living here. This is Meow's room. So Meow is the alley cat, and technically, he's not my Webkinz. Technically, he's my brother's, because back in like 2007, my brother was a little bit too young to have his own account. So we just put him on my account, and he would play with his sometimes, and now my brother is old enough to have his own account, but is obviously not interested. And so now I get Meow all to myself. But this is his room. I kind of haven't really touched it. I mean, I've added like this thing, but I haven't really touched it since it was younger. So this is kind of a room that like I would like to renovate, but also I kind of like the idea of just keeping it like this, you know? Even if it's not the best designed, it just screams 2008. Next room, next room. This is my time machine room. So I did a room challenge a few times, and this was one of the challenges that I ended up doing. And so this is our time machine. So you sit here, you roll back this clock, and then you go forward into time, and you can kind of use this big globe to figure out where you're gonna go and all this other stuff. It makes me happy. And then with that, we don't have a room right here, so we gotta kind of jump to our Farm Fresh room, which here is the Farm Fresh room. This is the deluxe theme for right now, so every month that you are a deluxe member, I get a box that has, and I can pick one of the items from this theme every month. And so I filled up this room. This room is kind of done. I'm not going to add any more to it. There are a few things that don't come with the room theme that are in here, like this pancake slide. I love this thing. So cool. Like, this is still the room theme for the deluxe members. So I'm just kind of grabbing some stuff that maybe I could either use for other rooms or I could use as like trading fodder and things like that for if people have an item I want, and then they can have some of these things, especially if they're not deluxe members. But yeah, I like this room theme a lot. And then we have an empty room, so we can just pass on by, not even look. I do have a few empty rooms. And then here's another 4-bed room that I never actually got around to finishing. But it's Bones's, Nelly, and Yeye's room. Kind of like my wilder animals. And I think May also is supposed to sleep in here. My signature clouded leopard. But I really love this wallpaper. So I'm excited to make this room a reality. It just is not a reality yet. It's very much just where 4 beds are. And then here is one of the many bathrooms in this house. As a Webkinz, you would only need 1 bathroom. I do have multiples just because I feel like that's more realistic with a giant house. And also, some of the pet specific items are tubs. Actually, quite a few pet specific items are tubs. And I want to be able to use them. So like this tub is for my pink cockatoo. I think that it's a pink cockatoo. You want to decorate? Here you go. There you go. We're instantly gonna pick it up because that does not belong in this bathroom. And then here's a room that is not decorated at all. It's another room that just has beds in it. I think this is my mystical pony's bed, and then my reindeer's bed, and then just one of the super beds. So not that exciting in here. So we can move right along. And then here we go. Here is my frog's room. I love this wallpaper. Like how you can see the outside and it like expands. I love that so much. This part's a little weird. Don't really like that part of it, but I really enjoy this room. We have Bug Eyes and James, my 2 frogs in here, and they each have their own bed. They kind of have the froggy theme, which, you know, makes sense. But then you have like the Kinsville spoon thing. Can you click on it? I thought you used to. Maybe you can't. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. I really like this room. This is another room that I kind of like. It has the froggy theme furniture in here, but I think the items that really take this and make it all its own is the different unique items. Like the lollipop tree bushes things. I don't know why I stuck them in here, but I love that I did. And this will probably be a room that isn't gonna change much because it's just so cute. And then here is I think this is a series 1 trading card room. Yes, this is series 1. So I don't have all the prizes unlocked. I've won 2 of the prizes, but not these 2. I really like this room. I don't have all the furniture for it yet, I don't believe, but this room also feels really like put together, and I don't really feel like it's missing much. I put the Webkinz welcome balloons in here, a few of them, because I feel like this would be the room that you would kind of be like a guest room. Like no one is specifically assigned to this room. That is this room, series 1, trading cards. And we'll move on to the next room. This is my living room. So it has a lot of trophies in here and some like Webkinz Day trophies. It also has like the Jumbleberry Fields thing, and then my curio shop gems and my secret forest ones. This room kind of looks like a mess, but it's also one that I designed a while back, and I've added a few things since then, but like the overall design is one of my older designs, and I don't know, it just feels nostalgic and it feels like a family room to me. Like I don't know what I would change about it. I do think I need like a dedicated trophy room because I have a lot of trophies still in my dock that this is where I want to put them and there's no room. with this one right here. I don't know why there's a TV in here. Oh, it's from whenever I was checking out the browser edition. That's why. But this is gonna be a continuation of the living room, and kind of like I was thinking of having essentially two living rooms. One being a living room that I designed back then, and then a newer, more modern living room. But right now there's just a TV. And then here is another bathroom. This one's kind of a bigger bathroom. So like you got the stalls so multiple people can come in here, and then the divider, and then another pet specific bathtub is right here. Most of the time whenever my pets ask to go to the bathroom, like to like wash their hands or take a bath, this is the bathroom that I go to. This is the main bathroom that everything happens with. What has returned? Oh yeah, because I added a new room over there. Okay, then can we put it? We won't be able to fit it? No! So this diner poster used to go right there. Obviously it can't anymore, but I don't want to take these posters down, so it's just gonna have to stay down. But this is our cafe. So this is kind of the where everyone can sit and eat. That's kind of relaxed vibes. We have a couple of other places that they can all eat together as a big ol' Webkinz family. Like where you would have like Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner. This is kind of where you eat your everyday meals. This big ol' cafeteria. And then this room right here, I'm not done with this room. It's literally just gonna be covered in refrigerators. And that's it. I kind of want more of these. I wish I had gotten more of these giant wacky refrigerators. Just because they look so ridiculous. I kind of wish I had like two more at least for this room. But this is where I collect food. This is where it goes once it's all organized. It's not all organized. This is a work in progress, you know. It's not the finished refrigerator. And here is another refrigerator. This is the one that I did have, but it obviously is too much. Obviously filled up real fast, and I don't have any room for it. Mainly because I chose a medium-sized room. But yeah, all these refrigerators are full of items, different foods, and things like that. Just organized in different ways. And I love it. And yes, this is in here. No, it's not a refrigerator, but I feel like if you're in a refrigerator, you need to have fruits and veggies. You can't just have all these sugary good treats. You need proper veggies. And then here's Blue Myrtle. He is hanging out in the kitchen, and he is actually blocking us. Rude, rude, rude. But this is the kitchen. This is where all the food gets cooked. We have cooking recipe books everywhere. And then we have this dispenser that gives you a moon pie every day. None of it really matches each other, but I think that's the charm of this room. Honestly, if I'm being honest, I think that's the charm of most of my rooms. And then here is the grand dining room. So this is the dining room where everyone sits to eat. I need more of these chairs. I need more of these chairs. I usually only remember that I need more of these chairs when I don't have the money to buy them. But we have a lot of thrones in here. We have a big buffet to grab food from. We have some food on the tables as well. Yeah, this is just where everyone comes and hangs out. This is where the whole family gathers. And here is another empty room, so we will just ignore that empty room. And yet another empty room that we can just pass on by. We'll fill the empty rooms up eventually. And then here is my playroom. So this is where all the toys are. We have a lot of the plushies. We have most of the board games. We have the coloring book. which the coloring book works in browser edition. Doesn't work here, but it does work in browser edition, which is so very exciting. I either need a second playroom or just a dedicated plushie room, because I have a lot of plushies that obviously can't fit in here, because I do still like my animals to be able to still get from one room to the next. Like, I like them to be able to walk through the house, even though majority of the time when I'm finding them, I'm just hopping this way, you know? Plushie room? Yes, I feel like I need a plushie room. Like, the amount of plushies I have in my dock is a little ridiculous. I like the floor is my favorite thing. Okay. And then here's another empty room. I think that's majority of the empty rooms. Yeah, you can see. Empty, 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 empty. But that's okay, because that means we can pass on by it quickly. Because we got plenty of rooms to look through. Oh my goodness. And this is one of my closets. This is something that I'm not, that I started, but then I kind of didn't really finish because I still have a lot of clothes in my dock. But this is what I was trying to do to get rid of all these clothes in my dock. This is like the top room, and I tried to divide them based off of color, as you can see. So like all my blue tops, all my pink tops, yada yada yada. And again, not really being so like it's not really much to look at, but I want to get to the point where I can just kind of have all my clothes here and not have my dock cluttered with everything. This closet is full of outfits, I believe. Outfits and pants, I think. Yeah. So we just kind of have things divided amongst, not really too bad. But this does need to be moved up because we cannot get out. But yeah, this one is tops, and then I believe we have 2 more closets, but I think we'll see those later. Oh wait, no, I'm not supposed to see this room yet. I guess we can. I was supposed to go this way, and I went down. So actually what we'll do, ignore me. We're gonna jump to the hall, this hall. So we go back into line. So this room is right beside the top closet, like where all the tops are. This is another room that I designed for a contest. It's a wizard's closet. So it's just a tiny little room. Again, I love this. I love the gems on the floor. I love that this is kind of just, I don't know. To me, it fits the vibe of a wizard's closet perfectly. And like this rug is like some like unknown substance that's leaking out of this tub. It just fits. It fits. And then we have a flying carpet in here. It just all makes sense. Is there anything in here? No, there's not. It just makes sense to me. I don't know what to say. It just does. But then we have this room. This is a bedroom that doesn't really have anyone specifically assigned to it, but it's a fruit bedroom, as you can see. There's just 3 beds in here. But no one specifically is assigned to that room. And then we have this bathroom. I love this bathroom. I love this item so much. It's just so cool. And then this mirror. And then this like fire breathing thing that you can get from one of the adventure quests. I don't know why that thing's in here, but it just makes sense to me. But yeah, just another little bathroom. This one probably matches a little bit more because most of these things are from the same set. But the things that don't match are the things I like the most. This is DJ and Colin's room. DJ is my hopping bunny, and then Colin is my koala. Don't ask me why they share a room. It just makes sense in my head that they would be roommates. I don't know. It just makes sense. But they kind of have like a space theme going on here. And then DJ's drum set is here as well. So, yeah. And they both have little buddies with them. He has a mug and he has an apple. And then here is my retro room theme. So this was another deluxe theme that you could get. Like in your monthly deluxe box, you could pull out items for this room theme. This was the room theme whenever I first got deluxe again. So I didn't get as many items for this set as I have been getting for the other set. But yeah, I really like how this one is. This one's also kind of considered a guest room. Like it's not a specifically assigned room, but like I would want this room in real life. Like I love how everything's designed and colored. Yes, please. Can I move into this room? Doodle and Bella's rooftop room. Not much to say here. It's just a rooftop bird room with the rooftop theme. They don't really have anything extra in here. I mean, they have a plush, and they have a basket, but that's kind of it. That's kind of it. I feel like I need more rooftop rooms for my birds and things like that, but here's another one. Avalanche, Val, and Key Lime. They all sleep in here. Uh, that's Key Lime's bed. And then Avalanche and Val, one of them gets a super bed and the other one gets a regular, boring bed. I don't know who decides. Maybe rock, paper, scissors decides for them, but I like this room a lot better than the other rooftop room. This one just has more life in it in my head. And then here's my singular underwater room. All three of my underwater pets live in this room. Glitzy, Nausicaa, and then right here is a seahorse named Bubbly. This is another thing. I also kind of want to make more underwater rooms. So that way they can have more of a space and they don't have to be in bubbles all the time. Anytime they want to go do something in their own house, they have to be in a bubble. I want them to like be comfortable and swim around underwater. But I really like this area of it with the sand castle. Don't ask me how that sandcastle stands up on its own underwater, and don't ask me how that water stays in the moat underwater, but it does. Then here's another empty room that we can slide on past. And then here is Oliver. Oops, no, I didn't want to change to you. I want mush. Here is Oliver and Tuxedo's room. They're both Littlekin's black and white cats. So they have their two pet specific items right here. And they just kind of have their room. It kind of feels like a little condo to me with the walls blocking off their bedroom from like the rest of the house. I like it. I used to have all of my maze and hamsters in that room with them. It was a lot. They could not all fit in there. So I moved the maze and hamsters out of that room. And then here is, no, I don't want to click on you. Here is Kadu and Christian's room. Christian is a Littlekin's lamb and Kadu is a Littlekin's chicken. And they just hang out in here in this little country room. So cute. I love the fireplace and the gold gemmed, not gold, gem. It's a gem apple. Sparkly. That's all that matters. Okay, here is the accessory closet. So, like the shoes, the hats, all that kind of stuff, belts, things like that, glasses, they're all in here. That's what's all going on in here. And then we're back, I think, to yeah, this is the outfit room and the pants room, which we've already seen. So we'll go ahead and go back down. Now we're seeing this room at the proper time. Now we are. So this is a Helping Paws room. I have two Helping Paws rooms because I just have so much stuff. But all this stuff in this room are things that you can get from doing or having Helping Paws. So I have 141 helpers. So whenever someone new creates an account, if they use this code after they create an account, they get 2,000 more kinzcash for themselves. And uh, just anytime you create a new account within the 30 days of creating that account, use this and you can get 2,000 extra kinzcash. So 141 people have done that, and then I get prizes based off of like that. So that's where all these items have come from. And I actually have two right here for us. Yes! Yes! This chair. I need this chair so bad. As you can tell, I've been getting lots of the plush couches, but I need this chair. I'm trying to just fill it up, make it to where it looks like a proper dining area with proper chairs and not couches. I need that chair so bad. That's the chair that I'm always looking for. So thank you. And then we have a small box that comes with an outfit item. So, and then there's this giant slide that they just kind of go down. So cute. So, so cute. And then there's a hot tub and then just all this stuff. It's great. I love it. But here's my other Helping Paws room. This one is just another one where I've been adding more of the decorations. But I do have some decorations in here that aren't Helping Paws from Helping Paws. Unlike the other one where it's strictly Helping Paws. But this one has some things like this little lamb plushie and things like that. Some letters, Kinsville, Webkinz votes, and things like that. Hopefully one day we'll get all the items I need and all the chairs that I need, because I need a lot of chairs. And then here we are back at the room that we started in for this house tour. This is just my 20 years banquet hall. So this is like where they would do like award shows or celebrations and things like that. They can eat in here, and sometimes they do, but the other main eating area, the fancy eating area, is where they would have like their like big family dinners, not in here. And then here is my 20-year celebration bedroom. So I did a lot of the stuff in this room is eStore point stuff. This is one of the few rooms that actually has eStore point items for it. But I got some of the closets that have the years on them, this giant bed. I just kind of went all out and allowed myself to get a whole bunch of this stuff. I think this is a dispenser right here. Yeah, you get a donut. Um, but we have like the 20-year tiger and the decade dragon. So Diego, the 20-year tiger, Jubilee, the 10-year dragon, and then we have Lysandra, my purple deluxe dragon, and Tamarind, my gold deluxe dragon. They obviously all can't sleep in here, but this is where they all kind of hang out for right now. So we've seen all these rooms. So now what we can do is we can go to, yeah, I'm going to start here at the farming garden. I think that's going to be the best place for us to start. This is the garden that has like some regular food and then has some specialty food items right here, and then has some trees. These two trees are dispenser trees, but these trees actually grow, these two grow cupcakes and these two grow apples, but I really like how this garden looks. And then this one is going to be more of a, I have a whole bunch of other seeds that I am thinking of like creating a second farming garden area, but for right now it just kind of looks like this. And then if we go this way, we'll see my pumpkin farm room, because all my pumpkin farm rooms look the same, but you can do a full walkthrough of all of them. So these three right here are completely filled with pumpkins. That's the best way to get money in Webkinz, so that's what I do there. Yeah, they're just pumpkin rooms. But we can go ahead and jump to this holiday room right here, because that would be the next room. And then here's my holiday room. We have my sugar cookie mouse, Thistle, and my winter otter, Solstice. They sleep in here. Obviously, there's one bed, but this is their room. It's the only Christmas room I've ever decorated. I've never really decorated for Christmas in Webkinz. I really like how this room came out. I like how it all came together. It feels very festive. Oh, wait. I want to talk about. Don't look at this room yet. We're not there yet. I went when I wasn't supposed to. This right here, this tree right here is a custom tree. So when Webkinz had a whole bunch of merchandise, you could buy Webkinz ornaments and they'd have codes on them and stuff. And so, and if I remember correctly, you could get those ornaments in here. And so you can kind of change the design of this tree to be whatever you want. Oh, that's so cute. And this is just a tree design that I designed way back when, and I've kept it. So yeah, that's a custom design tree that I really enjoy. Okay, now we can go to the next room. This is a Halloween room. This was the first holiday room I ever designed. So this was for a contest way back in the day. So this was like in 2010. I designed this room. And I think it holds up. I think it is real great and real nice. I love it. We are going to go down because there's just like one room down there. And that's my Easter room. Easter, it's cute. Lots of candy. Yeah, not much more to say about it. But it's Easter. Yay! And then here is my haunted party room. So there's like a food truck. You can sit up here. This is one of the older, like retired Halloween themes from like a few years ago. That I just really liked, and I was like, I don't want to redo my Halloween room, so I just made another Halloween room because Halloween is my favorite holiday, so I'll has to go in here. And actually, this pumpkin right here, I'm gonna put it in here. I think it works perfectly. Yes. Okay. We just added that, but it works great. And then here is our Fish King Memorial. We just decorated this room, so still pretty fresh. This was an adventure. Oh my goodness, I can't believe this is what we came up with, but we did, and it's great. I love it. And if you missed us decorating it, you can definitely go check that out. There should be a video by the time that this is up on my channel of that, if you missed it. But it was great. It was so much fun. Okay, next room. This is the room we just added, so that makes sense why these rooms are messed up by it. But here's our fancy garden. This is another room that I designed way back when that I can't bear to change. I've added a few things here and there, but for the most part, it's stayed the same. It's a chaotic mess, but I love it. It's my chaotic mess. Now we're officially out of the main house, and now we're going on to essentially the communal areas or the non-house parts. So this is the garage. This is where all the cars are. We have 3 Webkinz buses from when the Webkinz tour was going around back in like the day. I was able to get 3 of those cars. They're great, they're fun, they're amazing. And I put the garage here because it's like, it makes sense to connect the house to the rest of everything with a car. And actually, I think we'll drive a car through the rest of this. So let's get in this little ducky and go. So here's an empty room. We can bypass it. We can ignore it. And then here is a road. I figured if I was going to have all these hallways just to give us space to where it's not all connected into a box, might as well make use of it and put pumpkins there so I can harvest them. But we'll go up here first. Here's an empty one because we need another hallway connecting that I just haven't decorated. You know, classic. But here is our school. So here's the main entry for the school. We have like where the office would be and the hallway with all the lockers. This is just kind of the entrance to the school. Right here is where my maze and hamsters are. This is like the preschool area. So this is where like, this is pre-K. This is where all the babies go. They just, got some toys, some nursery things, books scattered everywhere. I think it's real cute. I think it's real cute. I do have a video on my if you go to the Kinz Vault YouTube channel, there is a playlist that's called like Webkinz videos from my other channel before I decided to make a dedicated Webkinz channel. So there's the Kinz Vault, and then there's Lacon's Cozy Nook that has just kind of that I started posting videos of Webkinz on there before I decided to make it its own thing. And on Lacon's Cozy Nook, in the playlist, there is a video where we design all these school rooms. We made the school all in one go. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. But it was a lot of fun designing this school. Here's the classroom. This is kind of like, middle school, high school, whatever you want to call it. This is like your regular class. You have science, regular seats, and then like a little computer lab area, things like that. Here we have the recess area. Yes, recess. So recess is kind of divided. We have the diamond, like the sports diamond, and then we have like regular recess. So that's kind of what this is. And then, do we want to go? Okay, yeah. We'll go up and then we'll go sideways. Up here, this is the football field. I wanted this to be outdoors, but also with some of the things I wanted to add, like because I wanted this flooring specifically. This was the main thing. I had to make it an indoor room, so it's an indoor football field. Not ideal, but I really wanted this floor. There was no other way to have like this football distinguished floor. So this is just our field, and there are some other sports on here, but it's mainly a football field. And then here is the gym. We have kind of like a stage area, because most gyms that I've been to, that's where the stage is, if there's not a dedicated auditorium. And this is where all the care stuff, like the trampoline, the swimming pool, and the treadmill are, and then some other trophies that we have. They're here as well. And this is kind of like the gym where we go to work out. But it kind of just has everything that you would do inside a school gym. I really am happy with how this school build came out. And while that video is a lot older, I still think it's worth a watch. Now, I haven't watched it since then, so I don't know. It may be awful, but the builds that came out of it are good. So I'm going to say that the video's fine. But then we can go, we're back on the road. We can continue going down the road. We have a watermelon area. That's more road for us to drive on. We have one that's pumpkins that we can continue to go on, and I'm gonna drop down this way before we continue going, because this is another offshoot. But this one, this is kind of like, it's essentially a hallway that I've decorated. I've done very few of those. I've decorated very few hallways. These chairs, I really like these chairs. I think they're so cool and fun. I love these chairs so much. Now we can go to this room. Here's the dance studio room. This is where we go to learn how to dance, to get our mambo and samba on. this is where you go to do it, is the art room. So we kind of have some places for you to sew, paint. We have tons of paintings on the wall. And then we have some easels up here as well. I really like how this room came out. This one, it's not too terribly old. This one and the dance studio room, they're not like 2008, 2010 old, but I think they're like 2018, maybe 2019. I think they're around that old. So they're not as like nostalgic for me, but I still think they hold up pretty great. And I had some good room design ideas cooking. But those will be kind of rooms that I don't think I'll change too terribly much because I like how they turned out. And then here is our Kinsville Park. Now this is an old room. This is a very old room that I feel like I will change. I don't know what it is. I think it's an unfinished mess. And I don't say that a lot about a lot of my older rooms, but this one, it's just, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And then we have this one. We're gonna go straight first, just an empty hallway, nothing to see. And then here is my store. So this is an older room that I also kind of think I'm gonna change. I like the concept of it. I was kind of thinking of like a toy store. That's what this was based off of, but I think I could do better. And I don't think this one is too nostalgic for me to feel bad for changing it. So I think this will be one of the ones that does get changed. But look at this. That's a red Miss Birdie. I don't know where I got that, but I got it. But yeah, that's the toy store. Nothing really too fancy to see there. So it's just kind of a room. But then here is our concession stand for the movie theater. So you can go over here, you can get your ticket, you can go over here and get your concessions, and you can walk back there and all that stuff. You can see what's playing, yada, yada, yada. And then once you've gone through the concession stand, gotten all your treats, you can go to the movie theater. So here's the movie theater. Too bad your movie theater has the tiniest screen imaginable. Like, can you imagine paying the prices that we have to pay for movies nowadays? And this is what you're watching it on? No wonder they're all on the front row, because if they're on the back row, they won't be able to see. The movie theater and concession stand is also, I do have a room decorating video doing both of those in sorry, didn't mean to hit that, in the playlist from my other channel as well. So you can see us decorate these. And I did have a little bit of a difficult time with this, but I like how it turned out. It's not exactly what I imagined and what I was going for, but it works. We can't always say that. We can't always say that a room design works. So even when it's not the best, if it works, and I'm not gonna be too mad about it. And then right up here, we have Spooky Woods, so we're not gonna go that way. We're gonna go this way. We're gonna go back through the camp, or back through the park, and go through the camp this way, because this is the way that you're supposed to go to it. If I could have rooms that are touching but aren't connected, the Spooky Woods and that hallway would be one of the rooms that I wouldn't have connected. But here, oh, we're not going to be able to get through. Oh no. We gotta get out of our little car. We gotta put it over here. And we gotta go to it. There we go. But I really like this room. You can go into both of these cabins and they turn on. I really like the pond area. I'm really happy with how this one came out. There is a room back here though that I don't know if I'll be able to get to. Yeah. We're gonna have to go through it this way. But here's the inside of the cabin. So what I imagine is you go into that cabin that's right in front of the door that's kind of blocking it. And this is what the inside of that cabin looks like. So we got a little bit, it's a little run down and everything, but you got 4 little camping areas to hang out on, and you got some adventure stuff, things like that, birding book, butterfly catching stuff, all that stuff, but that's the inside of your camp cabin. And honestly, that's kind of better looking than some cabins that I've been to. But yeah, I just imagine that that's what the inside of this cabin looks like. And then if we go this way, here is our spooky cabin. So this was last year's Halloween theme, if I remember correctly. It was a spooky woods. I love how this room came out. I love it, love it, love it. So good, so great, so spectacular. Now, you can get to the room from the hallway, but I feel like it makes more sense to go through the camp to get to the spooky woods, because this is kind of like the rundown part of camp. So you see these cabins right here. They're kind of run down. This is kind of like the scary part of the camp that like all the campers and the counselors make ghost stories about. So that's what this area is. And then this last area right here is my care room. My care room is so sad. I think I'm gonna make like a dedicated room. And I know that this is a dedicated room, but I think I'm gonna make a smaller, nicer looking room. I just kind of threw all this stuff in here because it was an empty room at the time. But yeah, this is a care room. Mainly I did this for my attempt to fill up all my pets' hearts and seeing how long it would take. Just that whole challenge and that whole experience of kind of fully understanding the hearts and what they all mean and things like that. So I made this care room for that, but I don't really use it that much. But it's here. And I feel like if you really care about filling up hearts and things like that, this is a very important room to have. But with that being said, I think that is my entire house tour. That is all the rooms that are in my house right now. All the finished rooms, all the unfinished rooms, all the rooms I'm proud of, all the rooms I'm hoping to change, everything. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for watching and chatting and having fun. Really appreciated that. I'm happy to have it all documented. The room theme or the room tours all documented so that way we can make some great progress. But thanks for hanging out with me today. I had so much fun hanging out with you. Hopefully you had so much fun hanging out with me. And that being said, I will see you in the next one. Have fun, be safe. I'll see you next time in Webkinz World. Bye!